Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Sergio Vidal with Sergio Vidal Cooking Recipes, and on this episode we're making chocolate chip cookies, but with that extra chunk, so we're using extra baker's chocolate as well to make extra chunky chocolate chip cookies today. These are the ingredients that you'll be needing. So 1 cup of brown sugar packed, a half a cup of granulated white sugar. We'll be using a tablespoon of vanilla extract, a half a teaspoon of salt for flavoring, 1 cup of room temperature salted butter, that's roughly about 2 sticks, 1 cup semi-sweet chocolate chips, whatever brand that you wish to use. I took a bar of baker's chocolate, that's about 3/4 a cup, so 3/4 cup roughly chopped baker's chocolate. We're using 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 eggs at room temperature. You'll need 2 teaspoons of warm water and 1 teaspoon of baking soda, which I've mixed together in this cup here. All right, we'll get everything prepped up and we'll get started with these delicious chocolate chip cookies. All right, let's get started with our cookie dough. So we'll put in the half a cup of granulated white sugar, our full cup of packed brown sugar. Just give that a quick stir. Mix the 2 sugars together. And we're gonna put in our 1 cup of softened room temperature salted butter. Again, that's about 2 sticks of room temperature butter. So we're gonna start by mixing our butter and our sugar, getting everything mixed up together. We're going to try to make this into a creamy consistency. All right, I'm using a wooden spoon. I prefer to make cookies using a wooden spoon. You can use an electric whisk if you wish. You can use a regular whisk, but I enjoy making my cookies just with a regular wooden spoon, just the old-fashioned style. That way I can get a really good feel for my cookies. So I'm going to keep mixing this butter into the sugar mixture. We'll get everything creamed up and we'll move forward with the next process. All right, we got this well incorporated. So your half a cup granulated white sugar, 1 cup packed brown sugar, and our room temperature 1 cup of butter, nicely well incorporated. We're going to start with just a half a teaspoon of salt. All right, that's just for flavoring. We'll add in as well at this stage the 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. This is going to give your cookies a really good flavor, that vanilla extract right there. And we'll put in the mixed 1 teaspoon of baking soda with the 2 teaspoons of warm water. Add that to your batter. All right, just gonna dry off my hands here. Let's incorporate your batter, these mixtures into the batter. Get them nicely incorporated. That vanilla extract. I'm using a really good quality vanilla, so make sure you're using a really good quality vanilla extract for this recipe. Also get a really good quality chocolate chips. I didn't skimp out on this recipe. I did get almost it was about $3.50, the bag of chocolate chips that I got, so they weren't really that cheap. But you know, you get the expensive stuff, it always works out better in your cookie recipe. All right, we're going to be adding the 2 eggs, but 1 at a time. Just 1 at a time for now, so 1 egg. And we'll get this incorporated. Let's add in our 2nd egg. Get everything well incorporated again. It looks like your batter is breaking apart, but keep mixing, keep stirring. Everything will incorporate. So don't worry about that. It does get a little liquidy at first, but the more that you keep stirring and mixing, everything will come together. Okay, I'm gonna keep giving this a good stir. All right, we've gotten our 2 eggs incorporated. We'll start with our flour. So we're adding 3 cups of flour, but I'm gonna be doing them one at a time. So we'll start with our first cup of flour. And we're just gonna incorporate that into our batter. It's better to start 1 cup at a time so that you don't make a mess outside of your bowl. And that way you can get everything well incorporated. All right, I'm gonna add in my 2nd cup. Again, just regular all-purpose flour. All right, we're gonna get all of the flour incorporated. I'll then be adding my the 3rd cup of flour, and we'll start tossing in the chocolate chips. All right, we have the 3rd cup incorporated. As you can see, it's a nice smooth batter. All right, we'll add in the chocolate chips. So I got 1 cup semi-sweet chocolate chips and my 3/4 cup of chopped up baker's chocolate. So what this does, the baker's chocolate tends to melt inside of your cookie, where the chocolate chips have another compound in them that help keep the chocolate chip whole even when it's baked inside of the oven at a high temperature. If you ever notice, a chocolate chip cookie always has the chocolate morsels still intact. The baker's chocolate is going to help it melt inside of your cookie, so making it extra chewy, extra chocolatey. You guys are going to love this recipe. Try it out. All right, I'm just folding in the chocolate chips. We're going to put this in the refrigerator for about a half an hour, just to let your cookie dough batter cool a bit. And then we'll preheat the oven to 350 degrees. And we'll start baking these. These bake roughly, I would say, the whole recipe, about 24 to 26 cookies or so. But we'll see the whole quantity at the end. All right, I'm going to put this in my fridge to cool for a half an hour. All right, the cookie dough has been cooling and chilling in the fridge for approximately 30 minutes. What that basically does is make your cookie dough a bit more firmer, so that way the cookie shape holds better when it's baking inside of your oven. I went ahead and preheated the oven to 350 degrees. I'm using just a regular scooper here, so we'll just start scooping up the chocolate chip cookie dough batter. Roughly about a scoop. And I got my baking tray here, not greased. You don't need to grease your baking pan, just completely non-greased, just adding in our cookie dough. Grabbing another scoop here. Grab some of those chocolate chunks. The baker's chocolate also, I forgot to mention, has about 43% cocoa. It's a dark chocolate, so a sweetened dark chocolate. Forgot to mention that earlier. I'll have all of the recipe ingredients in the description down below once I put this video up. As always, I'll leave the ingredients in the description field. All right, just trying to get some of that out of there. It's just getting a bit stuck. I'm gonna mold these together, put a couple more scoops. I think I can fit about 9 cookies total on this baking pan. And once I get that all completed, we'll move on to baking. All right, we have our cookie dough balls already placed on our non-greased baking pan. And the reason why you don't need to grease it is because there's already butter inside of the cookie dough. So if you were to add grease to the baking pan, it's just gonna burn the cookie at the bottom. So there's 9 total here. All right, you can also use a regular spoon, just scoop, and then just try to form them with your fingers a bit. Press them down slightly, just to keep that circular shape. They will melt down and form the cookie shape once they're in the oven. All right, I've already preheated my oven to 350 degrees. All right, so just gonna put them in the middle rack. And we'll let these bake for approximately 10 minutes. All right, guys, it's been approximately 10 minutes. As you can see, the edges are nice and golden. They literally just came out the oven. Look at those delicious chocolate chunks. They're looking so good, smelling so sweet, so tasty. Again, at Sergio Vidal Cooking Recipes, we're going to let these cool for about 5 minutes because if you start to try to remove them with a spatula, they will break apart. So let's give them about 5 minutes or so, 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll put them on a cooling rack to finish off the cooling process. All right, I removed them off the baking tray after 5 minutes with a spatula. All right, they are now cooling on a cooling rack, just on my table here. Just gonna give them a couple more minutes to cool while I bake off the rest of my cookies. All right, guys, here we have it. It came out to about 24 cookies. I've plated them up here on this beautiful dish, the serving dish. Extra chocolatey. My kitchen is smelling just like cookie dough and chocolate, smelling just like a fresh bakery. Christmas is coming along. Don't let Santa Claus jog away without trying these cookies. All right, I'm just gonna show you a bit of the texture. Nice and golden. All right, they're extra chewy in the middle. Extra chewy. Extra gooey. Look at that chocolate. They've been cooling for a little bit. Try out the recipe. Like the video if you enjoyed the content as always. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification so you're always notified when I upload a new video. These cookies are awesome. Beautiful. Try out the recipe. Leave your comments down below. Once again, it was my pleasure being with you guys here at Sergio Vidal Cooking Recipes. God bless everybody. And I'll catch you on the next episode.